This caudiciform is known as Pachypodium densiflorum var nova. So it's in a variation on Pachypodium densiflorum, and densiflorum essentially means dense flowers, which this is a plant that gives a lot of nice bright yellow flowers. And I have only one stem right here, but this will start to actually sprawl out as it ages and it gets older, and if you give it a larger pot. Now you could see that it has these like the silvery look and the silvery spine, and I wanted to show this to you because this is a plant that actually goes dormant for me, and I'm just approaching the winter season, and I have a few leaves that are kind of coming up right here. But this is really uncharacteristic because typically in the winter months, this just loses its leaves and it starts to put out leaves during the summer months. So I'm going to be very curious to see if they actually maintain and hold these leaves during the winter. I've started to grow some of my caudiciforms under a fluorescent light bulb in my northeast facing window. A fluorescent grow light in my northeast facing window. And I've noticed that they haven't gone deciduous. So I don't have a second version of these, so I can't test one in my southwest facing window and one under my grow light, but I would really like to because I just could give a little bit more observational, a little bit more knowledge to you all as to whether this goes deciduous under a grow light or not during the winter months. However, this is a wonderful collector's caudiciform. You could see that it has this kind of like a little bit more of a silvery look, and the leaves to me look a little bit more adenium-like the desert rose. And to a certain extent, it could, desert roses don't have these like porcupine-like thorns off the side of it. But this one is also native to Madagascar. I didn't say that. And it's not that heavy of a feeder. I would say you could get away with something on a monthly basis with a succulent fertilizer like a 2,4,7 or a 3,4,7. And I may have not mentioned this, but I have this growing directly in my southwest facing window. So that's my plant. I could see that it's like kind of going off a little bit more towards the side, so I might want to set this up. So if you notice your plant is going a little off to the side or leaning a little bit towards the light, you could actually just reposition it, and then I'd probably wet the soil a little bit, although not so much, because if it's going through its dormancy, you don't want to be wetting its soil. And you'll notice that I have a really high draining, well draining soil with a lot of perlite. This is one of those plants that the stem is really serving as a place to store all that water. So you don't want to be giving too much water to the roots where it's going to rot the roots and then rot the stem and just rot from inside out. Now I've had this plant for about 3 years. It's intensely slow growing. So don't expect it to get big really fast unless you're getting a big specimen. And I did not get a big specimen, as you could see here. But what else can I share other than if you're into caudiciforms, if you don't mind plants losing their leaves and going deciduous on you, then I think that this will be a very interesting one for your collection.